Today we are watching another video about Ink Master because this was huge in our industry. This one says tragic details about Ink Master contestants, which is crazy. I've never heard of this. I also wasn't really a fan of the show, but has a lot of views, so let's watch
Master has
it.
featured artists who have died too young, who have endured rare illnesses, and who have suffered through a few freak accidents. Here are a few. The 5th season of Ink Master brought palpable tension. Robbie Rapole competed against his tattooing sibling, Javo Scott, and while Rapole would prove triumphant
Both
in the
those
battle of
tattoos were
brothers,
terrible.
he'd finished in 13th place overall in his Ink Master season. Rapole turned his TV reality fame into a career as a touring tattoo artist, traveling to conventions and events. At some of
I mean, what even is that, bro? It's like supposed to be some biomech, like his color's good, I guess.
these body modification presentations, Rapole would show off another of his interests, body suspension. In May 2019, Rapole performed his suspension act at the Kansas City Tattoo Arts Convention.
Oh god, I hate this. If you guys don't know what suspension is, I can't watch if they show a video, but it was really popular when tattooing was more forced in the early 2000s in the category of like body modification, and I'm so glad that tattooing has gone so much further than that, because the body modification stuff was crazy. Like, I worked with a piercer who had metal objects in her arms. You know, her boyfriend was like one of the #1 body mod guys in the world, literally, and he had horns in his head, his eyes were black, and they would do this suspension. And suspension, they used to do it at conventions, but they'll take big old fish hooks and they'll pierce them through your thighs, your ribs, and then they'll hang you up about 100 feet, and you just hang there, suspended.
While hanging from the ceiling of the venue, a piece of equipment malfunctioned,
Oh,
disconnecting
God.
Rapole and sending him to the floor. Upon impact, he endured a compound fracture in 2 leg bones and destroyed the ball joint that connected them.
He's big
Rapole's
for that,
leg
man.
would never fully heal from the accident, and doctors had to surgically amputate it. With the aid of a prosthetic, he returned to his work as a tattoo artist. He wrote on Instagram, "Over the last few years, I've been able to go from losing it all, including my leg, to building a 7-figure tattoo shop."
Wow.
Tattoo artist Scott Marshall obviously brought something special to his medium.
7
because
figures,
he won
pretty crazy.
$100,000 for his skills on Season 4 of Ink Master in 2014. Marshall was a versatile and capable competitor, and he loved to boast about his unique
That's rad. This guy was good, I remember. That's a beautiful tattoo.
high-quality work. Faced with the final challenge of delivering a portion of a full back tattoo, Marshall's heavily detailed, time-constrained traditionalist work brought him a victory. A little more than a year after winning, Marshall phoned his wife from his Roselle, Illinois tattoo shop to tell her he felt too ill to go home. He checked into a nearby Holiday Inn Express, where he was discovered unresponsive the next afternoon.
Whoa.
Paramedics pronounced the tattoo artist dead. An initial autopsy blamed the death on a heart issue, but a full workup by a local coroner's office would later determine that Marshall died of an accidental drug overdose.
That's what I kind of assumed this video is going to be about. A lot of tattooers live like rock stars, and drugs and alcohol, they're kind of welcomed in the industry. I had struggled with drug addiction for like 8 years. And thank God I'm sober now, and I was able to get away from it, because I know a lot of people that haven't, but that's what I would imagine a lot of tattooers go through, man. Just because the world goes through it.
He was 41 years old.
Wow, rest in
Geary
peace, man.
Morrill is a tattoo artist based in Richmond, Virginia, who also worked under the nickname Roy G. Biv, a name which
It's cool, but, you know, just being honest, it's cool. It looks good. Looks clean. Not my favorite, though.
alluded to his colorful style.
It's not going to
The
last long.
style of art that I do, I call it like psychotrad. It's just like psychedelic, traditional.
There's artists that
pop.
do this really, really good, and this is, you know, I mean, whatever they're going to tell us about him, you know, I might feel bad. It's good.
man.
It's not my favorite, though,
With
and I'm just being
17
honest.
years of modern tattooing experience to his name, and just after getting a Lyme disease diagnosis under control,
Wow, Lyme disease
Morrill
is
charmed his
crazy.
way into Season 8 of Ink Master. He didn't last past the early weeks of the competition, faulted by the judges for a lack of preparation. In 2016, 4 years after his brief run on Ink Master, Morrill was diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer.
Wow.
He endured partially self-delivered chemotherapy treatments at home during the COVID-19 pandemic, and in January 2021, he was placed in critical care to treat cancer complications and pneumonia. Less than 2 weeks later, Morrill died.
Wow, that's sad, man.
Clint Cummings was a common face on 2010's Tattoo television.
I remember
After
him,
finishing in
yeah.
7th place on Season 2 of Ink Master in 2012, the highly experienced tattoo artist from Texas went on to headline Tattoo Nightmares Miami and returned to the Ink Master franchise with the 2015 spin-off
He's pretty
Ink
good.
Master Redemption, where he'd attempt to fix past failures.
Not a bad tattoo.
No, it's a bad tattoo.
It's a bad tattoo.
Between his many TV gigs, Cummings returned to work at his tattoo shop in Fort Worth. In January 2016, he was diagnosed with colorectal cancer. which had
Colorectal,
already
it's the same
progressed
one the
to
other guy
stage
had.
4 by the time doctors discovered it. As a result, Cummings was unable to tattoo as much,
Wow.
citing the tremendous amount of
How
pain.
little he is.
By October 2016, the cancer had moved into Cummings' kidneys, lungs, and liver, and he was hospitalized.
God.
The tattooist's death was announced on December 24th, 2016.
No
He was
way,
30
man. You know what's crazy is one of the girls that works with me came up to me the other day and she said, wow, she was on her phone. She goes, wow, another tattooer died of cancer. And I was like, yeah, maybe just a lot of people die of cancer. And there's a lot of tattooers nowadays, you know? And she was like, no, I see so many people going off right now. Tattooers.
6. A graphic designer turned tattoo artist who specializes in portraits, Oba Jackson had only been tattooing full-time in Delaware for a little more than 2 years when he got the call.
That's good. You can tell he's good with art, but he could use like this top part of the hair. It's not going to heal good long term, but like his art skills there.
Joined season 11 of Ink Master in 2018. About a month into the production of his season, fellow contestant Amanda Boone, an emergency medical technician, became concerned about Jackson's health. A troubling blood pressure check prompted Jackson to see a doctor, as he told Delaware Online. The doctor gave him 2 options: leave the show or have a heart attack or stroke.
Wow.
Jackson had been diagnosed with high blood pressure years earlier and type 2 diabetes just before Ink Master began taping, but his prescribed medicines weren't effective against the stress of competition and his sleeplessness in the show's group living environment.
Say this right now, man. Tattooing is stressful. I don't think a lot of people understand how hard it is on your body to like bend over, focus on one thing. That's why a lot of people aren't artists, is because it's so hard to focus on one thing for 10 hours a day. And with tattooing, there's no mistakes. You have to be 100% because you have clients that wait for you, 2-3 months, even more, with big artists. And they want you to be excited. They want you to be 100%. You're going to make the best tattoo today. You have to do that every day of your fucking life, man. It's a stressful job.
Jackson left after 4 episodes. Gia Rose left home to live on her own when she was 16. And before settling in North Carolina as an apprentice at a tattoo shop, she spent her life traveling and sleeping on trains and riverboats.
Wow.
Rose competed on the 8th season of Ink Master and made such an impression that she was asked to return for Ink Master Angels. Before Rose parlayed her tattoo skills into a reality TV career, she was diagnosed with a particularly aggressive form of cervical cancer at 31 years old.
Damn.
Rose appeared on just 5 episodes of the spin-off series before her abrupt departure.
I remember the
due
Ink
to
Master
health
Angels.
problems
There was a girl from my hometown that was on it, Nikki something, and I can't remember her last name.
related
Nikki
to
something.
ongoing cancer treatments. Flying around the country to engage in tattoo challenges was unworkable for Rose, who experienced cancer-related inflammation of the sciatic nerve. The condition led her doctor to advise her against getting on an airplane, making it impossible to continue shooting. Rose later told Monsters and Critics, "I beat cancer. I no longer have cancer, but I still deal with a lot of physical repercussions." Representing Baltimore and entering Ink Master with 9 years of artistic experience, Sean Jankowski, aka Halo Gray, demonstrated an aptitude with many styles.
He's good with color.
Gray did very well in the 4th season of the show, where he wasn't eliminated until the last challenge just before the finale. About 2 years before he made his debut on TV, Gray endured a major medical crisis in 2013 when he was diagnosed with testicular cancer and
Damn.
underwent surgery to remove malignant tissue. Afterward, doctors told the then 320-pound Gray that he'd need to report for chemotherapy treatments and take a year-long
Damn. Wow. He's an exceptional painter, man.
absence from tattooing to fully recuperate, as he couldn't safely tend to customers. Unwilling to not do the thing he loved, and which also provided his livelihood, Gray told WTOP News that he instead adopted Gerson therapy, eating an all-organic diet in lieu of chemotherapy. He
Wow.
reported that his cancer went into remission. When Ink Master reinvented itself with a rivals concept in Season 5, Caroline Evans entered the competition to compete head-on with New Jersey-based Ink Obsession co-worker Julia Carlson. While renowned for her specialties of cover-ups and corrections in both grayscale and color styles, Evan would be the first tattoo artist sent home during her season.
You understand what you did to me? For the rest of my life, I have to live with this abomination of a tattoo.
Previous medical events
Yeah.
suggested
I mean,
that
no
she
hate,
likely
but she doesn't
carried
look
the
that
genetic
great
marker
at
for a
tattooing.
condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, but Evans lacked the substantial amount of money the elective test required. After she agreed to participate in a study through a hospital that would pay for it, she tested positive for EDS, a collection of disorders that affects the joints and connective tissue. Patients deal with symptoms such as excessively stretchy joints and skin, as well as lifelong pain.
Wow.
Evans learned she had EDS just before she went in front of the
Stretchy
cameras
joints
for
and
Rivals.
skin.
Marissa Loren differentiated herself from the rest of her Season 6 Ink Master competition by emphasizing her enthusiasm for fitness and self-improvement.
That's good done. It's abstract. The face is kind of weird, but it's well done. Kind of wish she would just push the eye a little bit more forward.
One of the least experienced contestants, with only 3 years of tattooing work behind her, she joined the show specifically to compete against her mentor, Eric Campbell. Loren would finish in 10th place, a few spots below Campbell. Following her time on TV, Loren found herself suddenly ill, telling Inked, "I was unable to keep down solid food for a year.
Wow.
I lost weight, I couldn't work out, I couldn't even sweep the floor of the tattoo shop without almost passing out from overexertion." Despite seeking out the opinions of doctors who ordered numerous blood tests and an endoscopy, she couldn't get a definitive diagnosis.
Wow, look at her act,
After 2
too.
years of illness, a doctor pinpointed Loren's ailment,
Sorry.
Hashimoto's disease, an autoimmune disease that attacks the thyroid. It explained her stomach issues, as Hashimoto's stops the production of stomach acid. Going untreated for so long left Loren with a litany of health problems, including intolerances for many foods, gastrointestinal distress, hormone imbalances, and high cholesterol. Emily Elagato arrived at Ink Master Season
The
5.
scary thing about health, it's like, how do you even know, you know? How do you know when something's really bad and there's something you have is bad until it's really
in
bad?
2014 with something to prove, facing off against fellow Tampa, Florida tattooist Aaron Is. Elagato ultimately finished in 9th place, but she'd earned a reputation as one of the show's most outspoken and spirited competitors.
I'm very humble.
You're not acting like it, you're acting like an ass.
During the filming of her season, Elagato suffered a sudden and painful rupture of an ovarian cyst. Elagato told Matt and Jess TV commentary, "That was a horrible day for me. I never wanted anything like that to come out on national television, but sometimes you can't control your body, and stress will do incredible things to it." Elagato had been diagnosed with endometriosis, a condition that causes inflammation, swelling, scar tissue, bleeding, and significant pain. Elagato's health issues have been so serious that in the 8 years prior to her appearing on Ink Master, doctors twice identified the possibility that cancer could develop. Christian Buckingham boasted tremendous skills and progressed all the way to Season 7's live finale, employing strategies he learned by watching other reality competition shows, adding gamesmanship to all the artistic celebration. On Ink Master, Buckingham only briefly discussed why he decided to throw himself into the dream career that put him on television. He told Hardwood in Hollywood, "I got hit by a drunk driver many years ago. I had several dislocations and ended up having 3 surgeries to fix things up. When his workers' compensation insurance refused to pay for any more medical procedures after a doctor said the shoulder would never properly heal, Buckingham received a sum of money to train for a new career. he chose tattooing.
Wow. Crazy, man. Check up on your health, man. Yeah, check up on your health. If you like that video, please subscribe. I'm gonna do some more. Peace.